All right. So good afternoon again. Regarding to using ChatGPT, it's very important for us to key in the right prompts, because for it to do the task that we want it to do, you have to be very specific to what it wants it to do, right? So you hear people saying that you want it to you want the AI model to act as a lecturer, to act as a student, to act as a author, to act as an artist or whatever. Okay, so you have to be very specific to it, right? So this is the interface of ChatGPT. If you have not signed up for an account, you may want to do so. Just go to you can just Google ChatGPT, right? If as I'm typing, if you have an account, you may also want to follow along and maybe do. And one more thing I want to tell you is that you look at this Chrome. It's only for Chrome only. For Chrome browser, on the right hand side, you see on my right hand side there is this thing called the Chat GPT. This will go live, internet access live, yeah, together with whatever search term that you type inside here. Let's say, for example, I want to type let's say healthcare access inequalities. So we can see that it come out right. So here, okay. Now some people say that I'm sure some of you know that ChatGPT, the corpus of text that have been trained, that the AI model is trained on, is only updated to November or December 2022, which actually does not have live internet access. But some people will tell you that the Chrome extension, this is also known as the web chat GPT. You can just Google web. How do you install that web chat GPT? Just Google here web chat GPT, and then you just install into your Chrome browser. You can see here ChatGPT with internet access. So some people say that they have actually have live internet access, but I have also noticed that if you just key in a URL, it actually doesn't really read. For example, this one, this article, disparity in healthcare. Let's say I key this URL into it. Okay, okay, see here, I put down there, read and summarize this, the article or the text in from this URL. Then I key in that URL, right? It appears to read, but in reality, I find that it not very accurate. Right? It doesn't really read. Right? So what I'm trying to say is that in order for the model to work well, you have to feed the model with the text, with the data. If you don't feed it, then the quality of the answers, the response that come out may not be that good, right? Okay, let's come back to our topic of discussion. These are some of the things that I have prepared. I've given you the copy of it. Let's think that we don't have any ideas yet, all right? Let's say these are all the prompts. For example, you want to brainstorm for research ideas, so I just key in this one, right? This prompt I've written there, you just copy and paste and put inside there. They've done it for you. By the way, the version I'm using here is called ChatGPT Plus, right? This is a subscription based one, but you can also use a free version. There's not much of a problem. The only difference is that the free version, there are certain time frame, the time period, the user traffic is very heavy. Particularly, around 5 p.m., 6 p.m., where, on the other side of the globe is early morning for people over there. So heavy traffic use at that particular time, you will not be able to use. But if you're a heavy user, you want to use it day and night, then you may want to consider subscribing, which is $20 per month. Okay, let's key in that prompt. Let's say I want to conduct a study in the field of, okay, anybody want to give me something? Maybe I key my one, since I'm in control. So, okay, so let's say I want to conduct a study in the field of emergency medicine, generate for me fundamental research idea, okay, FRGS, right, fundamental research idea to work on. Better still, you want to put fundamental, okay, let's say if I want to conduct a multidisciplinary study. Now people already think go for multidisciplinary, okay, right, so I put here, and I wanted to highlight the novelty of each of the ideas that generated with this sentence novelty. In this case, like key inside there. All right, so you can come out the ideas. It will give you usually about 5 to 6 options, right? If you wanted to generate more, you can always say generate more. Okay, you can see that it generates a lot of ideas for me. Okay, and you can see each of these ideas that generated, it gives me the novelty value. Okay, investigating the impact of virtual reality on anxiety in patients with emergency department, exploring relationship with patient outcome, and emergency staffing, effectiveness of telemedicine emergency. Okay, maybe I'm interested in this one. If you think that you don't not enough idea, you can just generate more. It has some kind of recent memory, so you can still remember the prompt that you have asked in the task that you asked in the previous prompt. So you can see you can generate more. Okay, you can see it generate more ideas for you. Hold on, let me admit people first. Okay, so let's say I'm interested in this one. Let's say I take a simple one. Exploring the effectiveness of telemedicine emergency medicine, particularly in rural or remote areas, right? So now let's say I want to have some kind of titles, right? I don't have much idea, so you can also ask ChatGPT to generate the ideas for you. So let's say I'm interested to this one, effectiveness of telemedicine. Okay, the novelty is that although telemedicine is increasingly being used in emergency medicine, there is a lack of research on its effectiveness, particularly in rural or remote areas. Okay, where access is limited. Okay, inside here. No, sorry. Yeah. Okay, so I key in this one. Okay, so I want to conduct a study on evaluating the effectiveness of telemedicine in emergency medicine, particularly in rural or remote areas, right? So in Sarawak, maybe a lot of remote areas. So how effective would that be? Generate some kind of titles for me. Okay, all right. So you generate some ideas for you, so you can pick 1 or 2. Telemedicine emergency systematic review, impact of telemedicine prospective cohort study, analysis of patient outcome, evaluating effectiveness. Okay, maybe I'm interested in this one, a cost-effective analysis of telemedicine in emergency medicine. Okay, so cost effectiveness. So there's a bit of a multidisciplinary as well. You have telemedicine, you have ICT, you have clinical medicine, emergency medicine, you have cost effectiveness, you have some health economics. So you got 3 components here. Let's say I'm interested in this one. All right. So, okay, let's go back to this one. Okay, you can also ask ChatGPT to generate a research outline research proposal for you. So let's say I'm now interested in this. All right. I already tested all these prompts, so it's a bit faster for me to do it. All right. So I'm interested to conduct a study on cost effectiveness. Okay. Of telemedicine, emergency medicine for rural and remote communities. So outline my research proposal. Right, so you can see that you can come out. Of course, this is not complete one. Definitely, depending on what kind of grant that you're going to apply, you may need to add on here and there. But at least give you some kind of framework to work on, right? For example, this is one of these. The introduction, of course, you need to have some kind of background, the rationale of the study, why you're doing this study, the purpose of the study, your problem statement, the objective of the studies, okay, your research questions, significance of the study, and your literature review, okay, methods, okay, and also results and discussion, and so on, right? So now Okay, let's say I also don't have much idea, or I may have some ideas already on the type of research questions, but I would like to compare the research questions that I have with maybe some additional ideas that come from ChatGPT. So I'm going to ask ChatGPT to generate some research questions for me also. Right, copy. All right, so I'm interested to conduct a study on cost effectiveness of telemedicine in rural emergency medicine, for example. Okay, put here. All right, can you see that? Can you see that? They're coming out all the research questions for you. Of course, you can choose. So we have to be very careful because we as the researcher, we are still in control, still in charge of our entire research proposal and conduct our research, right? We shouldn't be leaving everything to the AI model, right? It doesn't take accountability. That's why some people will put co-author ChatGPT as a co-author. I don't really agree with that because putting being a co-author is not just putting your name in the paper. It's about taking personal responsibility and personal accountability. In case that in future your paper is being queried or somebody may have questions on the validity of your data or whatever, kan? So ChatGPT cannot take personal accountability. So that's the reason why I don't agree with that, right? Okay, now let's say I would like to have this outline that been generated. Okay, let me make a new. Okay. Oops. Oh, too many things here. Okay, okay, I don't remove this first. Never mind, it's okay. I keep this. So okay, I remove this. Okay. Okay, right. See here. Okay, so I got a title already. I like to have a bit bigger. All right, I have the outline of this paper, this proposal here already. Okay. All right. Okay. Now, all right. Let's come back to the research questions that have been generated. Let's see which one I want, which I don't know. It's a bit difficult to see. Okay. What is the cost effectiveness of telemedicine, emergency medicine compared to traditional in-person care? How do the cost of implementing and maintaining a telemedicine program compared to the cost of traditional in-person emergency care? The impact of patient outcome, how does the cost effectiveness vary across? Okay, this I don't want. How? Okay, this I don't want because there will be totally a new study already. Potential, how the cost effectiveness compared. So, okay, sometimes you can see that it actually generates the same thing. You can see that question number 7 and question number 2 is the same thing. That's why we have to read and we have to choose and we have to edit according to what we actually want, right? These are all just suggestions and ideas, and you may want to add in your own one, or you may have to edit to contextualize the research questions that have been generated, right? Or if it's not enough, you can just ask it to generate more. Okay, let's say not enough, generate more. Okay, you can ask, they will generate more, right? or you can also make it a bit more specific, but it depends on the corpus of data that have been trained on. So if you like generate more in the context of in Malaysian healthcare setting, we may not get a lot of result, but we can try. Let's say generate more in the context of Malaysian healthcare setting. See whether it come out or not. Okay, you have some, then you can just choose some that you think you can see a barrier facilitators. Oh, that's good, right? So quite good. Okay. Oh, maybe I can choose some of these. Okay, maybe I will take this top 3. Okay, so these are some of the potential, yeah, just potential research questions that I may be able to use. See here, anything else that I can use? Okay, maybe I like this one, barriers and facilitators of implementation. Okay, good. So now I got 4 research questions. Again, it's just contoh. You as the expertise, you should be in control of the direction of your research, but these will give you some ideas. Right? At least can brainstorm some ideas for you. Okay, so these are 4 research questions that I now have. Now, what else can we do with it? Okay, now you of course, when we do hypotheses and research question, research objective, everything have to be aligned, right? So your hypothesis 1 is for research question 1, which is must be aligned with research objective 1, right? So hypothesis 2 for research question 2 for research hypothesis 2. So you can actually ask ChatGPT also to generate your hypothesis for you. Or the research, maybe we do this one first. Research objective based on the 4 research questions that we have. Okay, now this one I have to do it here first, maybe. Okay. 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 So this generate the corresponding research objective based on the following research questions. Put it back here. All right, let's see what we have out. Okay, now let's see whether it corresponds or not, right? Okay, I asked, how does the cost effectiveness of telemedicine emergency care compare to traditional in-person care? To compare the cost effectiveness of telemedicine emergency care to traditional in-person care. Okay, so correspond, right? How does the cost of implementing and maintaining telemedicine compare to traditional? To analyze and compare the cost. Okay. Yep, I think okay, because you analyze and compare the cost of implementing and maintaining a telemedicine program. Let me see. This one actually does sound quite close to each other. Let's say I don't want this. Okay, let's say I don't want this. Maybe later I will remove it. To evaluate. Okay, the third one. What is the impact of telemedicine on patient outcomes, such as length of stay, mortality rate, readmission rate in emergency department in Malaysia? Hold on, let me meet people first. And here to evaluate the impact of telemedicine on patients' outcome. See, right? Number 4, what are the barriers and facilitators of implementation? Barriers of facilitator implementation, right? So okay, correspond, right? Now, okay, as I mentioned just now, this just sounds a little bit sorry, this one does sound quite close to number 1, so I don't want. So let's say I do a short research proposal, only 3 research questions. Okay, so I take this one. Okay. remove number 3. So these are the research objectives. These are the specific research objectives based on the 3 research questions that we have generated. Okay, right, cool. Okay, we have these 3 research objectives, 3 research questions. Okay, in fact, I can even ask them to ask ChatGPT to summarize these 3 and combine them and make into one general objective so whether it works, right? Okay, summarize and merge all these specific research objective into one general objective. Okay. Okay, to access the cost effectiveness and impact of telemedicine in emergency care in Malaysia, including a comparison of telemedicine to traditional in-person care in rural and remote areas, and evaluation was a bit too long, right? Make it even shorter and more concise. Okay, we will. Oh, okay, maybe I will accept this. If not, you can ask it to generate again. General research objective. All right. Okay, cool. So now we have general objective, we have specific research objective. Okay, what else we can do? Oh, no, this one. Okay, next one is to generate the hypothesis based on the research objectives that we have. Or the research question. Right, we say sure some more, right? So it means very confident doing it. So we have the 3 possible hypotheses that correspond to the research question. Okay, we asked the question, how does the cost effectiveness compared to telemedicine compared to traditional in-person care? So hypothesis 1, telemedicine is more cost effective than traditional in-person care. Second research question, what is the impact on patient outcome? Then the hypothesis is the use of telemedicine in emergency care result in better patient outcomes, including reduced length of stay, lower mortality rates, lower readmission. Okay, good. Number 3, what are the barriers and facilitators? Barriers to the implementation. Okay, so it gives some contour. Or of course, this kind of question, sometimes exploratory type of question may not make so much sense to have a hypothesis. Then might just put it there because this is just for demonstration. Okay, so you put it there. I will accept all these 3 maybe. Because you can always by key the onus and the accountabilities, the responsibilities still lies with us as the researcher. We can okay, maybe we can say barriers to the implementation. Okay, maybe I would say that there are many barriers. Okay, because I don't know, right? I can only postulate, right? Until I've done the study, then only I've done. Oh, no. Well, facilitators include factors such as, okay, right? So we have all now done. So maybe a bit redundant. Right, we have now here, okay, this here, maybe later I can put it back here. Research questions, the hypotheses. Maybe later we put it up. Okay, next one. What else we can do with this? Okay, generate and compare or comparing problem statement. You may already have your own problem statement. If you already have your own research title and some research questions, you already have your own problem statement. Well, of course, you want to also, let's say, want to compare, maybe we got fresh ideas that come from ChatGPT. So of course, here I put that we really should have some kind of research. We do some kind of literature review first. Okay, now this is going to be interesting. Okay, let's do some literature review. Now I want to tell you that ChatGPT is not good, in generating current academic references. Okay, for example, give me 5 references. Give me 5 references. Okay, let's give it a try lah. Where's the title already? Okay, it will still generate, but then if you go and search it, it may or may not appear as the real references. Okay, of course you can ask it to generate it, but you must always counter check to ensure that whatever that is generated here are real references. Sometimes it generates a lot of fake information. Okay, though this is one of the disadvantage of or what the weaknesses of the model. Okay, but of course they ask you to generate popular books, classical books. That one is quite accurate, right? So that is thing. So that's why I want to go and do it myself. I will do it, right? Okay, I have some paper here. See whether this is correspond or not. Okay, doesn't look like it. Doesn't matter. Okay, let's say I have this paper. I want to have a look at this paper. Okay, let's say I have this paper. And I have, let's say I take another one. Okay, maybe this one. Okay, why don't we try one from ChatGPT to see whether is it true or not, in not cost effective. Okay, let's try this. See whether anything come out. You see, doesn't look like it, no. I see. So that's the reason we have to be very careful. If you ask ChatGPT to generate current academic references, it may not work. But it has some DOI number. Why don't we just key in the DOI number and see? Hey. Or we just put the titles. See, doesn't appear. Right. So that's the thing. I have to be very careful. But let's say I have I already got a few references. Let's say I have here paying for telemedicine in rural hospitals. We have another one here, cost effectiveness of telehealth in rural and remote emergency departments. Okay, let's say I want these references. I mean this paper. Okay, let's say I'm going to do here. All right, I have one reference here. Is so 2020. Okay, one reference, huh? Let me show you some magic here. Okay, there's one. Let me have another paper. 5 key questions. This doesn't sound like academic paper. Okay, maybe I want this. I want this paper. This is not original paper. One systematic review or studies of cost effectiveness. Okay, maybe I will take this paper. The matter, I just key in first. Okay, so I will have second paper here. Miss Free at all 2011. All right. Okay, what else? What else we have? Let me see. Oh, this is same paper as the one on top. Never mind. Oh, never mind. Let me search reference within reference. This is good. Same, right? Same systematic review. Oh, okay. This is a protocol. No, it's almost the same. Okay, maybe this one. The use of telehealth in the management of non-critical emergency. Okay, let's take this paper. Okay, so I have now 3 papers just for demonstration purpose only. I just necessarily just I keep to 3. Just right. Okay, now I have 3 papers, right? Now what I can do, ask ChatGPT to do is to generate a problem statement based on the literature review. But actually, maybe not a very good idea because we only have so little papers, right? How it may not give you a good, give you a very an accurate problem statement. Maybe I do something else first. Okay, let's say I would like to tabulate the past studies. Okay, maybe I would like to do this tabulate past study in columns. This is cool. Let me show to you. Let me perhaps I can take one more. Take one more. Okay, maybe this is a pilot trial of emergency telemedicine in Western Australia. Maybe I can have this one also. Let's try. Let's try. Of course, the structure of the abstract different, right? You can see that some of the entry above is that they are structured as abstract with background, methods, and discussion, but some are non-structured. So that may have a little bit of problem, but we'll give it a try. Harrington et al. 2013. Now I have 4 papers here. I want to ask ChatGPT to go and tabulate all these for me. Okay, summarize this abstract in columns, right? Close some of these things first. Too many. Right. I'll see. Oh, very nice. Okay, but because of the structure of the abstract that I key inside, difference. You see, some of the entry are more structured. They have section like background. They have the methodology. That's why the table that comes out, it doesn't have that, like, author, methodology, methods, results, and so on. It doesn't have that. It only come out like this, right? But if if the abstract that you key in are all have similar structure, means that they all have background, methodology, results, and conclusions. Let's say all 4 of these papers have that, then it will come out nicely. You have author, methodology, results, and so on, right? But unfortunately, because the paper that I key inside there are all different abstract length and different type of abstract, structured versus unstructured, so and therefore it come out this kind of table. But nevertheless, you can see it can do amazing things for you. Imagine that you can have more abstract. Of course, there's a limitation of the words that can be that you can key in. There's some limitations, the number of words that you can key in every prompt, and also the response that generated by ChatGPT. Sometimes it will get stuck halfway. There also, I think there's always a certain limitation of the words that can be generated at any one time. Okay, so but nevertheless, you can see that it has a very nice structure for you. So imagine that you want to tabulate all your past studies into columns and to tables, so you can ask ChatGPT to do it for you. Now, let's say I would like to write paragraph of past literature review. Okay. In fact, okay, never mind, we do this first. So many things. Okay, I can write paragraph based on this, just based on these few studies. Okay. Of course, in reality, that there will be more than that. You may screen more paper, right? So I will ask you to write for me. See? Right. Okay. Of course, our job as an academician would be to read through it and maybe to edit it and also to remove part of it. It's not just our job, not just not just copy and paste, right? But you can see that it can I would say it would hasten and quicken your process of writing, right? And the language and grammar use are very good, yeah, actually, right? So that's it. You can also now, now I can going to do how we can extract the studies and from Scopus database and feed into ChatGPT. Okay, so these are some of the things that I can also do. Like for example, I want to screen for relevant of the search results that I'm going to take from Scopus. Okay, I go to Scopus. Okay, let's key in some key terms. Cost effectiveness analysis of telemedicine. Let's say I'm going to do this. Oh, okay. Alamak. Cost effectiveness. Okay, maybe not like this. Telemedicine of emergency medicine, like okay, like this. Okay, so we have some paper. We have 14 papers. Okay. All right. Okay. We take all. We take all. Export it into CSV format. Okay. Okay. Time. Okay, a question from, wait, do I have anybody that I have not admitted? Just let me check. Okay, I have admitted everybody. What ChatGPT am I using? There's a question to me. There's only one version of ChatGPT. That's only by OpenAI. Don't download ChatGPT apps into a mobile phone because those are by third party. Which may not be very good, and they will charge you also. Computer a little bit old. Okay, now we have. Oh no, we don't have abstract. I forgot to put abstract. Yeah. I forgot to put abstract. So sorry for that. Do again one more time. Close some of this. It's too heavy later. All right. Okay, cool. Now we have abstract, we have authors. Okay. Now what I can do is, okay, I want to clean those data set that I have. Of course, you cannot put all 14 inside there, it may not work. To only select topics that are relevant to my research title. So I will ask ChatGPT to read those titles, to read the abstracts, and to evaluate whether that is relevant or not to my research title. Okay, so based on the data that I'm going to feed to it, ChatGPT will give me a comment or give me the feedback to include author, title, year, relevant or not relevant. Okay, right. Okay, let's do this. So I would feed the title, feed it with author, title, year only. Author, title, year. And also the abstracts are made. Okay, author. I remove this. Title, year. Okay, this one. Remove all. Take all this. Okay, I don't want all this. Okay, so I have all this. All right, I have all this. Okay. Maybe we just do 3. Okay, wait. I need to bring this one up first. All right. Okay, I have to wait. I have to tukar a bit because yep, is the title. So I want to clean the data set to only select topics that are relevant to cost effectiveness analysis of telemedicine. Read the title and abstract given to evaluate whether it is about cost effectiveness analysis of telemedicine for emergency medicine. Based on the following data, list the feedback, author, year, relevant, not relevant, and reasons. And this is my previous one, so I take it up. This. Okay. Try. Okay, now go back to the. Okay, 3 first. Right. Now we are going to feed it into ChatGPT. I hope it's not too long, but let me try. Oh, great. So you can see now, it helps me to do the screening as well, whether those titles are actually relevant to the specific topics that I want to study or not. And also give me a bit of reasons also. We can see here, in relation to cost effectiveness analysis of telemedicine, emergency medicine for rural and remote communities, they say, oh, all three are not relevant. Okay, this one, design, development, and implementation of virtual coordination, not relevant, because he said here the study is about a virtual coordination, blah, 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 and not specifically on the cost effectiveness analysis. You see that? So that actually helped me to screen the title also. So I will be able to quickly select those titles and those abstract and those articles that are relevant to my research question and the research title. You see? See here or not relevant? So maybe I can try again and do, because all not relevant, right? So maybe I can have a few more. Okay, this one I try 4, see whether it work or not. Of course, I mean, we as a researcher, sometimes we have to take responsibility to see whether the answer is correct or not, right? So it may say not relevant, but actually is relevant, right? Or it say relevant, but actually it's not relevant. Okay, now we have 4 entries whether this time I would get anything or not. Oh, this one is a bit confused already. It doesn't want to generate table. Oh. And didn't give me reason also. Oh yeah, he got give reason, but it doesn't. Okay, let me ask him again. Generate again. This time in, you can either use in columns or in table format. In table format, see whether it work or not. Okay, so second time. Oh, but give me back the first entry. Oh, got confused. Oh, you can key in everything. Oh, so good. All right. So out of these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I've got many paper here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Out of the 7, ChatGPT says that only Salmon et al. 2014 is relevant. Okay, because this article focused on assessing program efficiency on telepsychiatry program for rural and remote communities. Of course, again, we have to screen through. So we say not relevant, but maybe relevant, but drone are not relevant. This one maybe actually relevant, right? Emergency dependent telepsychiatry. So this one maybe, even though ChatGPT said not relevant, but I think it's relevant that I can take this as well. So now you can see that by doing all this screening, you already have a set of what you call this, the relevant articles. Then you can feed it back here, like what I did earlier on in this part here. Okay, and ask it to summarize it. You can ask it to put into table like this. You can ask it to write paragraph for you, and so on, right? So good, right? Now, okay, maybe I since it give me 2 more paper, okay, okay, so I will take those 2 papers. Salmon, let's say I take this. Okay, I will take this. I will add these 2. Okay, we got a bit more time, so we can. Oh, delete the whole thing. Salmon paper. Oh, yeah. Let's try. Okay, I got the salmon paper here. Salmon et al. (2014). Okay, so this is salmon et al. Abstracts. All right, and just now we have mentioned that there's another paper which I say no, but I think maybe it's relevant. So maybe I will also take this. Okay, I will also take this Meyer paper 2019. Let's go back there. All right. $2019. Okay, so I'm going to ask ChatGPT to write paragraph for me, additional one, based on these two papers. Okay, read and write paragraphs based on these abstracts. Okay. Okay. Okay, now I have already have few here. Here. Okay. I don't want summary first. I'll keep the summary. I want these three paper. But I think the way you write is, so conducted, mystery conducted doesn't sound very nice, right? So I ask him to rewrite again. Okay, three. Okay, so now I have 5 paper here. Okay, I'm going to ask him to rewrite the paragraph, make it now the prompt, the response of ChatGPT, there's this thing called the temperature of the response that you want. If you want it to be cold temperature, it means that it's more conservative. If you want to be hot temperature, means that you can make it more creative, right? So make it, let's say, more make it more creative, academic, make it more okay, maybe I can just make it more creative. Let's say, see what it comes out. So now I'm going to have all these 5 paragraphs, all these, and we can see whether what it comes out. Okay, so now the way it writes different already. Rather than say so at all conducted, mystery conducted, now it changed a little bit, right? Or still it's still here. Okay, doesn't matter. Okay, now I would like to make a problem statement based on all this. Of course, in reality, you will have more, right? You will have more. You have screened more paper. You have selected more paper. But just for purpose of demonstration here, I will just take this few. Okay, so now I'm going to ask ChatGPT to generate the problem statement for me based on the literature review that we have just done, right? Okay. Where's it? Okay, never mind, because I think you can still remember. Based on the literature review, based on the literature review, based on the literature review, based on the literature review. Okay. Let's see whether it work or not. All right, see, you can hear. Okay. Okay. So we come out here, based on this literature review that he has done. Okay. In fact, I can ask you to summarize. Okay, summarize the literature review and give me a concluding paragraph. Okay. Okay, maybe I would like this paragraph only, so I take this, I will take that one. Okay, so now I already have some sort of a literature review here. Of course, in reality, in actual case, I would have edit it. I would have see which one is more relevant, which is less relevant, I will have removed it again, because the responsibility is on me, right? But this is just for demonstration purpose. Okay, so I can actually paste it inside here. Okay, in fact, they already give you some outlines, right? So let's say you may want to do more literature review on cost effectiveness studying, right? So you can go to Google and do more literature review, but this is just for demonstration. Okay, let's put this on here. Then maybe I can place all here. Okay, done. So now we have a few paragraphs already of literature review. Okay, any question here? If you use the responses, plagiarism. Okay, now you can actually go and do some plagiarism check of the responses done by ChatGPT, whether how close is it, and you will find that actually very low. If you worry, then as I mentioned, I think the responsibility, the onus, the responsibility actually is on us as academicians. So of course that we would rephrase it, we will paraphrase it again. But what he has done is actually to highlight, to summarize, to condense it for you, to make it easier for your job and for my job, right? We cannot take everything that is generated by ChatGPT and buta then just cut and paste, right? It's our responsibility to filter, it's our responsibility to make sure whatever that is generated is relevant to us. Okay. Okay, but at least it gives you some ideas. But this is just for demonstration, so I'm not going to edit and do anything and paraphrase. Okay, so here and then after that, there is a concluding chapter which I would like to have. Okay. Okay, so I have some done already. Okay, and just now I have generated a lot of table, right? Yeah, so I can actually no, this one. Yeah, this one. No. This one. So I can actually cut and paste this table and put it inside into my proposal. Okay, see, cool. And then choose the table design that you want, huh? Okay, now let's do problems. Oh, problem statement done already. So of course I have to read whether is it really relevant or not, the problem statement that is being generated, right? You see, I think summarize the literature and okay, no, this one. Yeah, this one. Problem statement. Emergency departments in rural and remote communities are facing an increasing demand for mental health. Oh, so it already a bit deviated already from the original focus. Because you can see that it put more on mental health care. So maybe sometimes you may have to ask them to do again. Any question? Yeah, Dr. Wu, you have any question you would like to ask? Maybe you stop for a while.
Hi.
Yeah.
Can you hear me clearly?
Can.
Yeah, I'm not asking a question. I would just want to highlight a comment. Okay.
So
I think so far I follow the discussion. I think ChatGPT is really good in this sense, but I think I have to really comment that for literature review, right? Using ChatGPT can be we have to be very careful, okay? I think in this part, right, it is still the researcher's responsibility that we have to really read the literature. So what happened here is when we do this, right, many times we will not read anymore because you think by using the AI to help you search a literature, they will have done the job for you. But I think it's very dangerous because like what you have done so far, you can see that there's already mistakes. Okay, that's one. And secondly, they only screen the abstract, which is not enough.
Yeah, definitely.
So for me is that I would like to strongly just say this to encourage that as researchers, it is still a responsibility to really read the literature. So I will only use ChatGPT after I have read through the literature, and I think these are the literature that is relevant. Then only I will use ChatGPT to summarize all the tables like what you did just now, rather than using ChatGPT now to do it for me. And then I only read the table and to make sure that there's no mistakes, because I think by doing that, we skip a lot of steps, and I don't think that is going to be very good. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Totally agree. How
Yeah.
you want to use it is up to your own method or your approach of doing things, right?
But the fact is, like, because the people who are attending this, maybe their research experience can be very different. Like maybe for you, you're very experienced, so you can pick up things very easily. But while for some researchers who are still young, who are not very experienced, they may not realize this, and they think that, oh, wow, now that I have ChatGPT, I can do this very easy, But in fact, they fail to realize that they might miss a lot of things, and it can be pretty dangerous and disastrous, if like, for example, they didn't critically appraise the literature properly, they didn't really read the entire article, and they just think that, oh, just because ChatGPT say it's relevant, this is just one example. Yeah.
Yep. Good comments. Yep, I agree. Yeah, totally agree. But just a bit clear, because because I only have 1 hour. Just want to condense everything here. So that's why I quicken up the process. If I were to do it, I was also ask everyone to do it, would be actually to read through it, whether this is actually relevant or not, right? And I have mentioned many times throughout the presentation and sharing so far, is the onus and the responsibility is still on us as a researcher to make sure that whatever that is generated are relevant to our research question and our research title, and also the responsibility on us, right? Okay, yeah. Thanks for the comments. Yeah, there is something that we have to keep in mind, right? Okay, let's move on first, yeah, because I've got a few other things to share. So let's say you have you see, because I only have a few reference articles. So whatever that I put inside here, the problem statement generated may not be accurate, and you can actually see here that it actually larry a little bit, actually deviated a little bit. You can see here facing mental health, but actually my initial title actually is not just specifically for mental health. Let me maybe you see, now already run away already from the that is the reason why I think what Dr. Wee mentioned also is very important, to ensure that we screen through whatever that is being done here. So if I'm not this one think is accurate, then you can ask it to regenerate again, and also to maybe don't fit the information that are talk specifically on the mental health. Let's say maybe if I just would like to do this here, you will remove here. Okay, you can ask it to generate problem statement. As I mentioned, you may already have your own problem statement. Okay, you may only want to get fresh ideas. Maybe there are points that you may have missed out, that the AI may be able to help you to identify. That's why I put here generating or comparing, not just everything is from the AI model, right? Okay. Let's say this one here, based on this. Actually, I can even put right up, because it's already as a right up ready. Okay, let's see again whether this time is better or not. It didn't generate problem statement. Generate a research problem statement based on this literature review. Okay, sometimes it may not work very well, so you have to this one. Okay, or you may have to identify the research gap first. Okay, research gaps based on the literature. Okay, so when you say that despite the blah 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 here, there's still gaps. Okay, and what are these gaps? No conclusive evidence that is effective telehealth may exist in reducing unnecessary patient transfer secondary over triage, right? And okay, allow more research. Now you can ask it to generate problem statement based on the research gaps identified, right? Okay, let's read first. Although telehealth services have shown potential to improve access to healthcare in rural and remote emergency department, the evidence for the effectiveness and cost effectiveness of these services remains inconclusive. In particular, there's a lack of rigorous research on the use of telehealth to manage mental health. I see again come up. So actually, I don't really want to just focus on mental health, but I want to concentrate on emergency in general. Okay, existing in although okay, lack of consistency in reporting methodologies, a need for further research. So at least you can see that there's a research gap's been identified. The what has not yet been studied, what people have already done, what people have not done. Right. Of course, I wouldn't want to just focus on the mental health itself. Wait, right. Where should I put it? Never mind lah. Later we can we can put it nicely. Okay, let's say this one. Let's say it's going to be something like this, just something like this, right? So okay, where is it just now? The mental health one. Okay, let's say I don't want this one to manage emergencies only. I don't want, okay, right? So I have a rough idea. This is going to be my problem statement. Okay. Okay, now what other things that it can actually help us? Conceptual framework. Okay, now you can also ask it to generate a conceptual framework and also some form of the research instrument. Okay, some kind of research instrument. All right, maybe you can just ask here. Okay, generate for me a conceptual framework for my research. Again, it is our responsibility to make sure what we want is can you please be more, okay? So sometimes you don't fit in with data, it doesn't come out, right? So maybe I will have to, okay, I think the best way to get a research framework is actually from your research question. Otherwise you lorry a bit sometimes from time to time. That's why. Okay, now let's say I have these three, right? Okay, let's put this one here. Generate for me a conceptual framework based on the following research questions. Okay, question 4 o'clock already. Need to finish. All right. Okay, you can see that the input. Of course, the ChatGPT doesn't draw diagram, right? Because it's a text-based AI model. Of course, it's your responsibility to put all this into diagram for a conceptual framework, right? So I just want to give you some remarks on this. So you can actually suggest for me some research instruments. Okay, I think I have the prompt. Where is the prompt? Okay, identify based on the research question and the title. Okay, you feed it with the title also. Based on the research questions and the title, list the appropriate instruments. Okay, appropriate instrument. Okay. Yeah. Okay, better give the title first. Title is cost effectiveness of analysis of telemedicine. Okay, like this. All right, let's put it here. Let's fill inside there, see what it come out. Okay, so these are some of the instruments that you can use. You can see all these these are all the metrics that you can get, right? Sometimes it will suggest to you some frameworks, some instruments, right? Sometimes the framework that they generate, you must go and check it out whether they are actually true or not. Okay, and you may generate fake information, so you have to be very careful and make sure you double check again. Right, so these are some of the instruments and some of the things that they can, right? Okay, we'll move on, right? Got a few more minutes to settle this. All right. Okay, now you know that some of these grants that you also need to have the how relevant is this to your governmental policies, right? Sometimes you have difficulty to scratch your head on how I'm going to frame this, but you can also use it to help you. So you can put here. Right. So based on the generate how this is going to be relevant to governmental policies. Right. Fit it here. Okay. Oh, see, can you tell me that it's Malaysia? Oh, because my research question I already specifically put in Malaysia. Sometimes it doesn't, it's not specifically in Malaysia, right? So you have to go to Google and search it out. What are the exact programs or policies, governmental policies in Malaysia? Okay, so the relevance of this research to governmental policy lines of potential to inform decisions, how you can inform decision regarding implementation, expansion of telemedicine services for this. Valuable information, cost effectiveness, right? By identifying barriers, okay, also inform policies. Okay, ultimately these findings have the potential. Okay, of course you have to shorten it a bit, right? So if you let's say you want to know some specific governmental policies, for telemedicine, so I have to go to Google. This one you have to won't be able to get it from here, right? You cannot ask ChatGPT to generate sometimes very recent things, right? Because the corpus of data is only up to November and December 2022. Okay. So you can see examples, see whether got or not, right? Of telemedicine. Right. Then you of course you have to read, you have to read and see what are some of the specific things that have been implemented in Malaysia. Okay, maybe this is an interesting article, the healthcare gap in rural Malaysia. All right. There are some response here. If you have the Chrome extension web ChatGPT, then you have all these coming out at the side here. And please verify first, especially if we mention some specific programs, to ensure that it's true. Right? Okay, I have to move on a little bit. So you can also ask it to identify the United Nations sustainability goals. Okay, some of this research you also need that as well. So I'm going to ask this here. Okay. Right. Based on this title, which one is being addressed in this particular research with this research question? Okay. Make sure you have to feed it enough data, otherwise it won't come out. Okay, so you can see here that this research will address United Nations SDG goal number 3, good health. Oh, only good. Okay, only goal number 3, right? Good health and well-being. Okay, never mind. Okay, now next one, last one is generate the feedback on how this title can meet the quintuple helix of innovation. If you're not sure what is quintuple helix, there's how the research is able to meet various stakeholders interests, not just government, not just institution, but community as well. So you can ask the question, what is quintuple helix? Okay, I can tell you everything here. You can see there are okay. So government, industry, academia now add on together with civil society and environment as well. So these are the 5 components of a helix model. So now I'm going to feedback the data and ask him or ask it. This research title can meet the quintuple helix. Actually, I can give the research question also. Give a bit more data, and you can give you a bit more accurate information. All right, see. Okay. Okay, how academia can comes in. Industry is mentioned, civil society, governmental policies, and the community, right? And users. Okay, so you can have all these 5 here. All right. There's one more thing here I wanted to just share here. What are some of the possible probable statistical analysis that can be done, right? You can actually ask him also. Okay, so I'm conducting a research on this one. What are some of these probabilistic statistical methods, right? Generating suggestions for. Oh, wait. Okay, never mind. I can just generate probabilistic statistical method to answer this. Generate for me probable statistical analysis to answer the following research questions. Right. All right, let's feed the data inside there. Okay, they give you using cost-effective analysis CEA. The second question, you can use a comparison patient outcome. Okay, so you can do a group analysis of patient in the traditional patient management and telemedicine. And then number 3, could use the barrier. This one maybe you can use qualitative, right? Qualitative analysis, statistical method. Oh, okay, yeah, just that descriptive statistic alone maybe probably not enough. I think will be do best to do a mixed method, right? You want to use some quality. So of course that's why it's still your responsibility to make sure whatever that is generated you accept or you don't accept. All right. It only give you the ideas. You only say, okay, these are things that it's possible, but the final responsibility on you to accept it or not to accept it. So these are some of the things. I have actually other prompts, but I don't want to really share this because I need to verify first this one. To use ChatGPT to help you with statistical analysis of whether your study is 1 mean study, 2 mean study, or 2 proportion study, or multiple linear regression. I need to do more simulation to ensure that it is appropriate. Some people, some of my friends from USM, they try this one, say that it's accurate, right? But of course, I think it's better for us to test it out. Or you can key in one time here and use G power. I think ultimately it's still G power, right? Sorry. So I think I have already covered everything inside the prompt here. Okay, so I written here, be very ethically, use it responsibly, ethically. It helps you. It may simplifies your task, but it doesn't replace our human brains. I think that's all I would like to share. Any question, any comments? 10 minit more. Any question, any comments? Go and try out some of the prompts that we have put it up there.
Prof. Chiu.
Yeah. I was speaking.
Okay. Regarding this ChatGPT,
yeah.
There was some journals has explicitly stated that they won't accept any article submission with ChatGPT as a co-author. For example, Nature journals series, and I think probably other publishers will follow suit. Very soon. And let's say if you are using ChatGPT as a research tool to help us generate article. So in this process, if we don't list ChatGPT as a co-author, is it considered ethical? I mean,
I would think so. I personally I don't believe putting ChatGPT at all as a core. The reason is very simple. As I think in the beginning of the sharing, I already mentioned that co-authorship is not just putting your name in a paper. No, co-authorship is about taking personal accountability for the result and the data. Which means that in the future, if your data or your result is being queried, or there are some potential researcher who would like to extend your research, who would like to ask you question, right? Or your corresponding, you as a corresponding author, for example, ChatGPT by itself cannot take personal responsibility. That's the thing.
I take your point. I mean, you very emphasize it in your during your talk. It's just that I mean, now we are using ChatGPT as our to help us to generate a lot of this information. So during the process, I mean, ChatGPT is considered our helper or our research assistant, or probably it plays a role of co-author. And then if we don't list it as a as a co-author, is it considered ethical, or does it? Do you take my point?
I take your point. That's why the final responsibility is you yourself whether to accept or not, and also you can paraphrase it. You can paraphrase it according to your own style of writing. I don't really believe in putting ChatGPT. If ChatGPT is a co-author, it will be the most global co-author, and soon will be the most cited, because every field also it will appear in his name, it's not his or her, it names, and you as long as every country on the planet that has internet access, right? So I don't really believe in that. The final is only an AI assistant to help us. The final responsibility is on us academicians. I don't really believe that. That's why I actually asked ChatGPT before, can ChatGPT be sued or not? The answer is no. Anything that if you use the response, by ChatGPT, you cannot sue ChatGPT, right? But you can sue the owner of this one. That's one. But you can. But surprisingly, the response is that it can also let's try. It can also sue the people who are using it. Can ChatGPT be sued for its responses? Okay. It will say no. So, but surprisingly, who else can be sued is us as an end user, because I asked, but we are just asking questions only. We are not generating responses. But the answer is that because the way we frame our questions, the way we frame our prompts will influence the way how it responds. So in that sense that we are also liable. Can ChatGPT be sued? Okay. Then which entity can be sued for the responses generated? See, the lies with the individuals and the organization who utilize it. Okay, so so that's why the final responsibility is us, right? You can always paraphrase it and so on, right? Is there plagiarism? I think I already mentioned that one. You can actually put whatever that whatever that is generated here, you can put it into any of the plagiarism check and see whether how high or how low is it. So far, I check actually is very, very low. That is the reason why. That is the reason why sometimes when the responses generated by ChatGPT contain a lot of fake information, because every time when it generates a response, it will have some kind of novelty into it. It really bake into it, so that it doesn't repeat and it doesn't copy and paste a lot from one of the source or some source outside, right? In order to make it so novel, right? And to avoid plagiarism, right? Sometimes it generate a lot of fake information. Yeah, but I can, so far the experience actually is very, very low. The plagiarism, the similarity index, right? But as I mentioned, that it's still our responsibility to paraphrase it in the style that we want. Okay, any other comments? I hope that this one will be as a tool that will help you to quicken up your process. And so I know it's already 2 days, a bit difficult, right? But hopefully we can also have some submission. At least you can help you to screen. All right. You may want to take it, you may not want to take it, right? But at least it helps you with large chunk of data, which if you're doing alone, you will have to take a very long time. Okay. Sometimes the problem is that we don't have so much time. Any other comments? Okay, if not, I hope I have made it clear that our roles as an academician, and what ChatGPT can do and what ChatGPT cannot do. Right? Be very careful. Make sure you fact check everything that generated and before you use it in your own paper. Okay. If not, thank you very much for this. Hope that we've been giving some ideas. Okay, in order for anything that you want to generate into columns, you use the word in table format or in columns, and it will come out in the columns. Okay. Okay, I think that's all. Thank you very much. Hope yeah, thanks. Right. Okay, thank you. Bye.
Thank you, Prof. Ju.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Prof. Thank you.